Hey everyone, welcome here and glad to have you along. Did you know that I am now on Locals? Locals is an app where you can build community. Think of it like a modern day Facebook group. There you can get free content. I host morning coffees, some afternoon happy hours. You get tons of bonus content, discounts to programs and functions, and it's the best place to connect with me and the subscription box community as we continue to grow. All the videos are free to watch, and all you have to do is sign up on Locals. And the best place to do that is to download the Locals app and search for The Subscription Box Show or Eric Music, or you can go to the actual website, thesubscriptionboxshow.locals.com, and there you'll be able to sign up for free. Hope to see you there, and remember to check out our new YouTube channel, The Subscription Box Show. Cheers, and enjoy the show. Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going? Happy Wednesday morning coffee. If it's your first time here, welcome here. If it's not, welcome back. So wanted to get into some media stuff and how to connect to the media specifically because I'm going to be interviewing Andrea Mate. I'm going to still find out how to pronounce her name, but she's the founder of Launch Grow Joy, which to me seems a bit of a weird title just because I don't think it has much to do with her actual site. If you go to her site, it's all about connecting with the media, getting into holiday guides, getting into the hands of people who can spread your stuff. So I want to get into that and some of the questions I've had. I haven't checked this morning if any more came through. So without further ado, I'm just going to kind of get right into it. So her website is really well done. So the first thing you'll do if you go to launchgrowjoy.com, put that in the chat section here for you. Actually, I got a link right here. Give me 1 second. There you go. So if you want to follow along, you can click on that. It's not rocket science that you want to get into media as fast as possible. And I'm going to get into my tips and tricks shortly. But if you get to the website, you're going to be able to download for free the fastest way to connect with the media, get publicity for your e-commerce store, in our case, our subscription box business, and increase your sales. Yes, we all want to do that. So download your copy of the Publicity Resource Guide and get instant access to editorial calendars and media lead times, plus word-by-word email scripts for successful media outreach. So she gives that out for free. She also does have a paid program. I just got her, I think for 6 months, it's $600, so $100 a month. If you go for a 6-monther, if you want to go month to month, I want to say it's $150 if you want to just try it out. So it's probably worth doing. I would say try out maybe the 1 month to see how it works. And then, but first, maybe you want to listen to the interview. We're going to talk about all that stuff once we interview Andrea on the show. And if you have more questions, feel free to post them in the comments below in the chat, whatever you want to do. It's a big one. So just going through her website here, there's a media lead section, media lists, success stories, her blog, about, and contact. So there's all kinds of stuff. If you have these types of products, we'd love to work with you. And she breaks it down really nice. So if your subscription box is drinks and beverage or beauty and health, food, fitness, baby and kids products, right? So I would click on, obviously, that one. Media lists. I'm assuming you're going to have to pay for that. Yeah. So you can actually buy lists from her directly, one-off. Like, how cool is that? Like, for example, if I'm into travel media list, travel, camping, RV, cruises, ecotourism, contains 2,400 plus records of online and print, and you can purchase that for $247. So it's pretty cool. And she's got success stories for testimonials, how that works out for her. So I really can't wait for this interview with her. It's gonna be a ton of fun. Personally, what I like to do if you're just starting out, the free route to get to media. So first of all, why do you want to get to media? Well, there's a number of reasons. Obviously, you want to get your outreach out there. You want more people to see your brand. You want more people. You want to connect with you that you wouldn't have otherwise known. But another big part of it is because usually if you can get into media, they have, I'm going to kind of talk in layman's terms, so they have high ranking SEO scores on their websites. So they're a credible website. They're going to have high ranking SEO scores, and you want to be, you want backlinks to that. Now, you don't have to do much other than, let's say you get into, your local TV station and they interview you and they do an article on you. That's great for publicity, yes. But the fact that they're linking your website and more about you and that connects to your site is huge for your Google score. So when people search for your, something to do with your brand, you're going to likely pop up. You're going to go up the ranking on the pages. So if you're at page, 55, the more of these types of things you have, it's going to help you get closer to, page one. Your top 3 spots, 4 or 5 spots now even, might always be paid for, and you might never be able to get there. But if you can at least get on that first page, I know what I do when I Google something, right? You Google something, the first 3, it's always going to say paid promotion or promotion. I usually actually ignore those now. I look for like the 3rd, 4th one, the first one that's going to be more organic. It doesn't say paid for or promotion or whatever. That's probably where you want to get to. So you might not get to the first 3 spots, 4 spots, but if you can get to that next spot in the first couple of organic links, that's where people, I think, tend to, I do anyways, trust more because it's not paid for, it's an organic, something that comes up. So that's going to help you with that. Now, where do you want to start and how do you get into your local media? Well, you can listen to the episode we're going to be doing with Andrea, but if you wanted to try it out yourself, I always say start local. So take your city for your live. Let's say you live in Cincinnati, Ohio. Well, what's in Cincinnati that you can, go about and look at? Would be your local media. Look for your local newspapers, your local TV stations, and then you can go, from there to the bigger ones. Maybe it's a bigger one in Cleveland, Ohio, so you can go to those ones. Columbus. I'm not too sure all the cities in Ohio, but how that works. But at some point, you want to keep reaching out. And honestly, you're going to get a lot of, I always say for every 10 people you reach out to, you're going to have 2 for sure yeses, 2 for sure nos, and 6 maybes. The 6 maybes are the ones you got to kind of work on. So if you wanted, for example, to get 10 articles written about you or 10 interviews done, you'll probably have to reach out to about 100 people. That's the old school way of doing it. That's kind of like what I've always been taught. You might have better success than me if you're a good copywriter and stuff like that. But and for copywriting tricks, that's something else we're going to talk to with Andrea for sure. But yeah, I would just say it's just practice and it's a numbers game. Reach out. So the way I look at it, you're like, well, they wouldn't want to do a story on me. They would, because A, they like local stories, and B, news reporters are, always looking for leads. I was going to say they're lazy, but if something comes across your desk and it's a juicy news feed, it's a good feel story about a local company that's doing something, for sure they're going to want to cover that. So start small. From there, you'll be able to reach out to bigger networks and use those past experiences as your own testimonial. Say, hey, I was already featured in the local Cincinnati, whatever so-and-so radio station or TV station or newspaper. I'd like to be featured in this national one or this state one. So again, you get the gist of it. And the other great thing about doing local first is that you get to maybe deliver yourself or ship locally. It's going to be costing you a lot less money. And you kind of want to be the expert in your own area first and sort of like slowly expand that to your state, to your next states over to, neighboring states and eventually your country. And if you're in Canada, like I am, you start with your own city. We're super spread out, so it's a bit different, right? So in Canada, for example, if I'm doing it locally here in Winnipeg, well, I'm going to start with like my little area, Steinbach, Winkler, Morden, Winnipeg, Manitoba, and then try to move over to Saskatchewan, Ontario, Alberta, BC, etc., etc. So yeah, I hope that helps. Those are kind of the things that I like to focus on. Now, how do you reach out to them? Make it about them and why it's good for them, and make it short and sweet. So what do we tend to do? We want to talk about us, how good we are, what's all the great things we do, and we want to tell them a big, long story. Now, these people might get a lot of stuff come through their desk. Keep it short and sweet, so get a good headline on the email. If you can, think of and test different ones, right? And once you got a headline that has a good open rate that people are actually opening and replying to, kind of roll with it, but make it also not a mass email. So let's say you're reaching out to, I'm just have to invent names here because I'm going to, it's good for the purpose of the example here. So let's say you're going to CTV Winnipeg. Well, I'm going to make an email very specific to CTV Winnipeg. And specifically, I'm going to try to find on their websites specific reporters that I think would cover my stuff. I'm going to look at some of their articles. I'm going to look at some of their past videos they've done. And I'm going to say, I'm going to try to find their email. And I'm going to also CC the actual news station, CTV Winnipeg, but I'm going to go for like, Jordan at CTV, find his email and just say, hey, saw your article on, might be my headline. That's probably what I would lead with, something that I saw about them. And then, he's going to be like, oh, he's got some feedback on my we're ego driven, right? So he's going to want to see what I have to say about his article. So he's going to open up his email, and then in the email, I'm going to say, hey, Jordan, really appreciated your article on so-and-so. Thought it was really refreshing to see this, blah, blah, blah. Quickly done. Now, hey, the other reason I'm writing to you is because I'm a local business owner. We started a new company. Keep it sweet. I think it'd be good for your station. So why is it good for them? I think it'd be a good story for you to showcase because, and then give them that. So you always want to lead with value, and keep it short and sweet. For more on us, don't tell me your whole story. Keep it short and sweet. If you want more on us, we've been featured here. If you've been featured before, put a link there, or just for the website itself, check us out at www.blah, and feel free to reply with any questions or concerns or whatever, comments. And then, keep it short and sweet. Keep it very, so he can skim and see exactly what the gist is, because they're probably going to skim. You can also test with another headline saying, I've tested with this one before too. Say, hey, local company featured in Forbes. Or if you've never been lucky enough to be featured in Forbes, local company featured on this news station, featured in the Cube Awards, featured, nominated for this, partnered with this company. So just try to get some kind of testimonial. If you have literally nothing, find something you can kind of brag about. So maybe you've got products in your box that was featured in People magazine. You weren't featured in People magazine, or you weren't featured in Forbes, but your products were, or your products were showcased on Dragon's Den or on Shark Tank. So look for that kind of stuff. If you don't have a product like that, maybe find one. You can use that. I think those are things you can use early on to kind of not lie, certainly never lie, but also it's accurate, but it's also using some credibility there, because you've got some big names. I know we've done that from the start. Our products have been featured in, boom, and we list them all. Big ones, right? National Geographic, whatever, this article, that article, and talk to that niche. So anyways, that's how I would work out. And local radio stations love having people like you on. If that makes you uncomfortable, which it does for me, believe it or not, because you're live on a radio station, it's fun. And it's incredible. I would get texts from people, hey man, I heard you on CGOB, about your local story, whatever. So you can also just Google radio stations that have local stories, things like that. And there are some, all the time they're doing stuff. So I hope that helps. I don't want to go too much in the weeds with this one here. So I do have a question for Angela. I'm going to interview her. Just want to see if there's any more. And if you have any more in the meantime, put them in the comments right now or in the chat. On Facebook, I want to say there was one in our Facebook group. If you haven't checked out our Facebook group too, you can certainly do that. I'm not as active on the Facebook group anymore, to be quite honest, because I prefer being here on locals. Excuse me. So let's check out the question. The question came from Tina Sequeira. Sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. I've heard other publicity persons say that the best way to follow journalists on social media, engage with their posts, build a relationship over several months, and then start pitching to them. To be honest, that sounds like an enormous undertaking if you want to target several journals, and I just don't have the time to commit to all that. Is there a better way? Sorry for such a newbie question. Well, it's not a newbie question. I can't wait to see what she would say, but this is what I would say to that. I'm more rough around the edges. I would say, how bad do you want to get on those things? I mean, do you have to follow a journalist for several months and make a relationship with them? I mean, it helps so I would say this: if there's a local story, just make sure you see a couple of articles of theirs, read up on them, so you can actually quote that in your initial reach out. Those definitely help out. But I mean, for the most part, you don't need to follow them for several months. Now, if it's someone from Forbes, you really know, and she does an amazing, maybe it's this journalist from Forbes that does this amazing thing on mom and baby gifts, and you really want your box featured in her mom and baby guide, yeah, probably worth following her for a few months. Start liking her posts here and there, commenting. So when you do reach out to her, she'll say, oh, I remember seeing like several times actually that this Eric guy or this Christine has been, commenting and mentioning things. Like they'll know, they'll remember. You do it enough times, they'll start to see it, right? That definitely helps. But do you need to do that? You don't need to. You can certainly try beforehand, and try several times. If they don't say no, they say no the first time, doesn't mean it's a no forever. It might just be not now. And I've been told no before, and I'll say something like, and this is a good trick, is you'll say, it's not a trick, it's just because people are flaky now. So you'll say, hey, totally understandable, it's not a good fit for right now. Do you mind if I reach out to you in a few months? And they'll always say, what do you think they're going to say? No? I've never been told no once. They'll always say, sure, go for it. Because they know that 99% of people aren't going to do it. So that's when you say that and they say, yeah, no problem. Or if they say nothing at all, that's not a no. So I put it in my calendar that instant in 2 months. And I have a couple of those actually. I'll share this, check that calendar out. I've got a couple of those. I had one from yesterday. Check this out. So I don't know if you can see that. So I've had AC, Anthony Coombs from Splendy's before on the show. Reach out to him to do a follow-up because the guy is just a fountain of knowledge. He's amazing and he's just a really good dude. Splendy's is like it's an underwear subscription box, but the guy is unreal. He's just an unreal entrepreneur, and I've had him twice before, and I want to do a three-peat with him. Anyways, reached out to him. I think it was 3 months ago, and he said, "Not a good time right now. We're doing some stuff with the biz, and we're super busy." And I said, "Hey, no problem, man. I'll reach out to you in a few months." And guess what I did? It's in my calendar. Pops up yesterday, and he reached back out, and I'm just waiting for his reply now to cement in part 3. So do that. Put it in your calendar. It's a win. It's an absolute win. It works. I'm just going to second. Micro puzzles. What's going on? So I had another thing. Oh yes, another great tidbit here for you. When you're reaching out to influencers or you're reaching out to media, publicity, and you want to get noticed, if the email's not coming through, and that happens a lot, and you want to increase your rate from your 20% success rate on those, here's a great tip. And I've mentioned this before on the show. This is what you do. You go creep them out on Instagram or LinkedIn. Specifically, Instagram works really well for this. I guess Facebook could too. I've never tried it on any other thing. But so you go to your Instagram and you do a quick video of yourself. And again, those same talking points that I mentioned in the email, get them a hook right away. Hey, Jordan, I saw your article, blah, 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 loved it. Just want to, thank you for doing that, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate your work. But here's another reason I'm reaching out. And then boom, quickly tell them the pitch. Keep it like 15 seconds, 30, 20 seconds, very short. And why you're reaching out to them and why it would be beneficial for him or his news station or his radio station, his magazine to feature you. And the open rates on a video is so much different because if you've ever had, you look at your own messages on Messenger or on Instagram, your direct messages, you just see a bunch of random messages. But when you see a video, you're going to open the video. 100% you're going to be in it. So now you might say, well, how do I get a hold of this person? Well, that's your job. Figure out who this person is, what their Instagram is, what their email is. If you don't know their email, here's a tidbit. It's usually their name dot last name at whatever where they're working at. And I would try a few of those variations. It works all the time. It works for subscription box owners because, again, we're ego driven. So when I started my company, what do you think the first email I created was? It's eric@louisandleia.com. eric@thesubscriptionboxshow.com. So the first thing I do if I don't know, if you're reaching out for a collab, for example, another subscription box, or media or whatever, publicist, blogger, it's probably going to be their name at whatever company they're working at. Just a quick tidbit on that one. Yeah, so the video works well. The open rates are through the roof. You can see they'll see it. At least you know that they've seen it when they've seen it. And if they don't answer, you can always throw a quick follow-up a week later. You want to be persistent, professionally persistent, but not annoying. There's a fine line there. You need to know it. And then if they don't respond after a few times, then you just got to leave it. It's not a good time. And maybe you put in your calendar to do it a year from now when you've got more credibility where you can come back with some more credibility stuff. So Yeah. So as for her question, my answer, would be, do you need to? No. Does it help? Probably, especially for the big. If you want to land the big fish, yeah, I would do that and start the process now. That's as simple as that. And there's also slow times, right? Like right now is a busy time for holiday gift guides because you need to get into them right now. The holiday gift guides typically June, July, but there are always some procrastinators that are going to be doing it right before Black Friday, right before Christmas season. So you can always start following them now to get into their last minute gift guides or whatever. If there's something you're lining up for Mother's Day, Father's Day, look at the holidays you're working around and try to pitch something that's not so vague as well. So if you get this really cool box for Halloween, look at people that do cool stuff with Halloween. You got a cool box for, I don't know, St. Patrick's Day, or Valentine's Day. Think of it like the holidays. Go through the calendars. And actually on Launch Grow Joy, the website, I think she has that right on the main page there. You'll have the download for free. You get an instant access to editorial calendars and media lead times. So, but you can just Google, every day there's something, right? National Cookie Dough Day or whatever. There's no shortages of stuff you can to work around for publicity. You can also do a PR. What do you call it? Like yeah, I forgot the name, but I actually got an email this morning. What was it from? This is a cool one too. If you want to for leads on this kind of stuff, just get to here. Haro, HARO is free to join. Haro starts for help a reporter out. So every day you can get up to 3 emails on all the things reporters are putting out there. So you can see. Now, I hadn't had great success with that one, to be quite honest, but it is what it is. You can still check that out. Haro, I know some people who use Haro all the time. And again, it's just, if anything, it's going to help you for your SEO. So it's not a bad thing. It's just when they always ask for boxes or whatever, then it can start getting a bit of annoying. So I'm just looking for the other one I'm looking for. It's not for grants, but 1 second here as I go through my emails quickly. The Pocketed team. If you go to Pocketed, I think it's pocketed.io, like Pocketed, like POCKET. So let's see what the website is here. Got a link here. They do all kinds of webinars on funding, and I thought it was about publicity, to be honest, but I think I've seen some stuff about publicity in the past. Never mind, it's about funding, but I'll still put the link in there, just because we're just talking about it. Yeah, if you're looking for funding, that's one you can check out. Okay, well, I think that's all I got for media, unless there's another question. Let me just check my comments really quick. Yeah, no, we got nothing. So listen, if you got any questions between now and the next time I'm going to get on with Andrea, and you want to work with her, or you have a question for her on how to get into holiday guides, you want to get to the media easier, please give me your questions. I'm going to be asking this one again. I'm surprised. I thought I was going to be getting a ton of questions for this one, to be quite honest, because it's an easy way to get noticed. Once you get in there and you kind of got a flow and a groove of getting into one, it's usually easier to get into more. I go in spurts typically. I should be more consistent with it. I go in spurts where I'll blast a bunch of radio, TV, and news papers and try to get into the local stuff first and national. But yeah, and then I'm not consistent with it. But I usually have a pretty good success rate. So I mean, just start doing it. Practice. Okay, well, everyone, we shall probably do a happy hour at some point. I think I might do one on Friday, live from my gig. So I'm playing music on Friday. I wanted to do it last Friday, but I had no Wi-Fi. I was in Emerson. Emerson is a bordering town, so we played a Canada Day show, so I had to do it before. But I like doing live streams too, and for the happy hour, because I get to enjoy one of my favorite beers and talk about fun stuff like that. So anyways, try to maybe do that on Friday. Otherwise, we'll see you next Tuesday morning for the next morning coffee. So talk to you then. Cheers. Oh, and if you haven't yet, please go check out the YouTube channel, subscribe, and follow us there. And again, on Spotify, iTunes, it's super easy to rate, especially on Spotify. Like you'll see if you go to just go on Spotify and put in the subscription box, you'll see like the little ratings thing. Just click on the 5-star. It takes seconds. Submit, done. You don't even have to write anything. As long as you've listened to at least one episode of the podcast on Spotify, you can rate it. So I appreciate all the ratings and reviews, the subscribes, the follows. Those things help a tremendous amount. If you watch the shows on YouTube, please click that thumbs up. It helps just for everything, to get noticed and all that. So, okay, I'll talk to you soon. I'm rambling now, so have a great day. Cheers.